Hello, everyone. Welcome back to 10 Minutes Astrology. Once a week, Alejo and I will be here to talk about the some basic astrology and help you to learning astrology. How are you, Alejo?
I'm fine. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Because I can't wait to start today's topic because this is a very interesting position, to be honest, and they have some similarity, to be honest. Today we're going to talk about Alejo.
Saturn in the 10th house.
Saturn in the 10th house. Well, I think they both have a little bit of flavor of the authority in their meaning.
Maybe, yes. I see them quite differently, to be honest, but I
Oh,
understand what you mean. Authority is one
let's
of the
go.
common keyword, yes.
That maybe you started. How about we start with 10th house and we talk about what you see there differently?
Okay, so 10th house is our social world, the way,
Mhm,
the things we want to achieve, what we want to be recognized for and admired for, and the role we take in society. So usually we use it to describe our job, but
mhm,
it could not necessarily it's our job. We use it to describe our job because in the society we live, our job defines who we are so much for the society, right?
mhm,
But it would be this idea of how we want to be recognized for, and what do we
mhm,
do to achieve that place of
mhm,
success?
mhm, mhm. Yeah, 10th house because in the view is the highest
Mm,
point in the ecliptic when we were born. So it's like usually we describe the highest part in the sky. Well, not exactly, but yeah, still the highest part on the ecliptic in the sky.
yes.
So still as a meaning about the achievement, the highest achievement we can be, and also it's kind of I mean the people we look up to, we kind of we
It's true.
worship them.
Yes.
Yeah, we kind of worship them, and but it's quite interesting. Some idea I heard from from most astrologers from the United States, especially when they learn from Noel Teal, Mr. Noel Teal, and he described that the 10th house is the how you get respected or
Mm.
how public look at you. So there's nothing, not it's not just respected, it's also how everyone in the world look at you in the public. I think
Mm.
that is pretty interesting. It's not just respected, but it's also your public image.
Yes. Yes. I
Yeah,
agree. I would agree. Yes.
yeah, yeah. So
And
yep.
sorry to go with your idea of the similarity with Saturn. So they both have also this idea of authority, right? How we
Yeah.
relate to authority figures
Hmm.
and to
Yeah.
rules and these kind of things.
But very interesting about what you say. Why they are different in your view? They are very
Well,
different.
because in my view, Saturn always implies effort and work,
Ah,
and there's a sense of restriction in Saturn.
okay.
And in the 10th house, I don't think that's the case. Some people have strong Jupiter in the 10th house, Sagittarius or Aries, and there's just, there's this kind of thriving, flowing energy. I don't see the 10th house as a house of effort, where I see Saturn, Saturn, of course, we don't want to have a negative, victimizing approach to astrology. So we try to
Hmm.
go deeper and see why is it that humanity has understood Saturn as the greater malefic instead of just the greater malefic. We try to see, okay, what is beyond this idea, right?
Mm,
Um, but I do think that Saturn, most of the times in most charts, requires some sort of restriction or limitation and a sense of
mm,
frustration.
hmm.
So this, I think, this has a bitter flavor for
I
us.
see. Now I get it. Why you say they are a little bit different. I agree with you from this point. But come back to Saturn in the 10th house. So I know what we see is usually we see the 10th house, planet in the 10th house as a quality
Yeah, it's
we
true.
shine about, as a quality we can apply in our work. So how are you going to interpret this part?
So I would say if a person has Saturn in the 10th house, then perhaps the role they get to be in society has to do with becoming an authority, becoming
Hmm.
the rule. becoming a judge, becoming the one who says what's right and wrong,
Hmm.
and ha having a kind of authority role, yes, authority figure in life.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. And take things seriously. I think we all remember a very famous study in the last century, Michel Goldman. He did the study about the planet on the angle. And he say when Saturn is on the angle, it's not just about 10 house. We are talking about planet around MC, IC, ascendant, descendant are usually for those people who take things very seriously. For example, scientists and scientists they are usually has to dive in a subject and take things so seriously. So that doesn't mean Saturn in 10th house must be a scientist, but they are authority figure and they take things seriously. Today,
And
our yeah, go on, please.
and scientists, they have to measure everything, which is very Saturnian.
Uh
They cannot just say, this is my opinion. You have to measure, you have to follow the standard approach to prove what you want. There's like very,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. They will not say, I feel like this.
they will never say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay, let's go to today's case. It's a very interesting case. Well, Miss Oprah Winfrey, we know she is an authority figure in her career.
Yes.
Yeah, go on, Alejo.
Um, no, I'm thinking, Saturn in the 10th could also mean, yeah, I become an authority figure. Just like we were saying the other day with Saturn in the ninth house, the feeling
Hmm.
of not being able to fly is what makes you try to be able to travel. So the same thing
Ah.
could be Saturn in the 10th. The feeling that I'm not being recognized, I'm not being seen, I'm not being respected, like you were saying, how the
Hmm.
people sees me, is what makes me put a lot of energy and work in there in a serious way because I want to gain respect, I want to gain recognition. So the paradox with Saturn might be that from outside we may see her as this very respectful authority figure, but maybe from inside he might be constantly looking at herself and thinking
Mm,
what what are her failures, what things she hasn't achieved yet, because she wants to make sure to do it in a way that she's going to be respected. I mean, I don't know her, and probably
hmm.
this is a process. Maybe by now she has learned she's such an authority. She doesn't worry anymore about it. But there might be a time in which there are both things
Yeah.
um, in the same person, right?
I agree. I agree with you. But before I say my point, I just realized I forget again to mention her chart detail. So
Ah,
yeah, that's right. Oprah Winfrey was born on 29th of January 1954 at 4:30 p.m. and that was uh Kosciuszko, Mississippi. And so she has a ascendant on the 29-degree Sagittarius and MC around the yeah, MC around the 70-degree Libra. Make her Saturn at the 9-degree Scorpio in the 10th house. But also in the 10th house also has the Neptune. These two planets is quite interesting. They totally they are very very different. Neptune is a little bit more image and a little bit more intangible, but Saturn is definitely I want to get something. What I know about her, a very very brief story about her. She was the TV. She was a news anchor before before, and then she fight so hard. She was coming from a poor family, and she fighting so hard to get her news anchor position, and then being criticized about her body.
mm,
Yeah, and then she was like through a very very hard transformation. Now we can see her journey wasn't that easy, and she encountered a lot of a challenge thinking about a African descent lady, and in that time in 30 years ago, in the in the kind of a TV and the news environment, that is you have to fight extra hard to get your position. And then her life story was something like I think she talking about her she has been raped when she was teenagers or something. All these
Yeah, she
add
was
up
abused
together,
many times as a
abused,
child.
yeah, many times. But this all become what she dedicated to her career, And in her show, I think now everyone knows her, and I think for those people would be so kind of take her seriously, especially when they attend to her program or an interview by her. And that is a Saturn. She works slowly to become a authority figure in front of TV. And that is kind of I think this is the Saturn about.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is very interesting, especially when Saturn. I know some people maybe think about it when you have a Saturn in the 10th house will make your journey toward your career is a little bit more challenging, more difficult. But don't forget, like Alejo said, they maybe make you worry about your access toward to your career, make you how to shine. But it usually make you okay. Then let me try even harder to get it. I
Yeah.
think that is what Saturn. If we been talking about Saturn for last 10 episodes, I think at least we should learn from it.
Definitely.
Okay, thank you, Alejo. Today, take your time out with us, and we talk about Saturn in 10th house. Next week, we will continue our journey to Alejo
11th house,
11th house.
the
That will
house of
be a
friends.
house of friends. Hello, amigo. Okay, so see you guys next week. Bye bye.
Bye.